Welcome to Premia TNC webinar. I'm Joey, Chartered Company Secretary. Before we start, there is a Q&A sessions at the end of presentation. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop a message here and we will answer your questions during Q&A session. Also, you may click the live track web buttons and we will contact you shortly for further consultations. Thank you very much. Hong Kong Company Maintenance. First of all, I'm going to present about Hong Kong Company Maintenance and general statutory findings, and Angela, my partner, will focus on statutory provisions and annual general meeting. In Hong Kong, the majority companies are registered as company limited by shares. So, today, we will introduce to you the key facts about annual renewals for this private limited company by shares. It is required to appoint a company secretary. The company secretaries must be Hong Kong residents or body corporates having their registered address in Hong Kong. File a local Hong Kong address as the registered address of the Hong Kong company must be provided to the company registry. And the company should maintain the registered address in Hong Kong to receive all correspondence from the government departments. As long as the company is active, it is the obligations of Hong Kong company to maintain company secretary as well as register office address in Hong Kong. Basically, the private limited company mainly deal with two government departments, the company registry, CR, and Inland Revenue Department, IRD, and the company limited by shares generally should comply with Company Inland Revenue and Business Registrations Ordinance. After the company incorporates, you should take care of annual reporting and government filing requirements for the company, and it is required to settle appropriate government fees on time to avoid late penalty. Furthermore, for any change in the company particulars informations as well as change in company structure, relevant findings should be arranged to the government departments in order to update the company records accordingly. General statutory filing requirement. According to company ordinance, every Hong Kong limited companies had to file their annual return regularly every year. The annual return is used to call the NAR1 form. It is a report to notify the CR of update information and company structure. Whether the company structures has changed or not during the year, it is required to file the annual returns with the latest company structures within 42 days from the anniversary date. For any late filing, there will be a government penalty imposed on the company. If the company is dormant and has been delivered the notice with register, the company will be exempt to filing annual return with company registry. Change of company particular is to be reported in the specific forms according to the relevant provisions of the company ordinance. For any change in particular information of directors and company secretary, including address, passport number, or name, and etc., the company needs to submit notifications, which is a specific form, notice of change in particulars of company secretary and directors to the CR within 15 days of the change. Moreover, the notice of change of address of register office is required to deliver for registrations within 30 days to report the change in the register office address. Also, every officer of the company, including its directors, company secretary, or managers, has the responsibility to ensure that the company has complied with all the provisions of the company ordinance. For business registration certificate, business operators must select 4 inches of the certificates are valid for 1 year or 3 years. Regarding renewals of the business registration certificate, its renewal demand note will be sent to the business address of the company before 1 month of the current business registration certificate expires. The demand note will display the business address, business name, day of payment, and valid period. The company should settle the payment with IRD within 30 days from the anniversary day in order to obtain the update certificate. Also, the company should inform IRD of any change of BR particulars, such as change of business address, change of nature's business, commandments of business, and etc. The business registration fee amount may be adjusted by the Hong Kong government in the different financial years, and each should be renewed on time to avoid any penalty. For tax reporting, the company shall get its first public tax return within 18 months after the day of incorporation, and each subsequent PTR for the company will cover 12 months and should be filed annually. For corporations, the public tax rate for the first 2 million Hong Kong dollar of profits earned is 8.25%, profits about 2 million Hong Kong dollar earned by a company will be subject to the tax rate of 16.5%. For the first profit tax return, the company is required to arrange filing within 3 months from the issue date, but the subsequent filings will be dependent on the year-end date. For example, if the accounting year ends between 1st April to 30th November, and the filing deadline will be 2nd May of the following year. Therefore, the filing dates of profit tax return for each corporate will be different. At the same time, the PTR should be submitted with supporting documents such as a certified audit report and tax computation. For the employer's return, the company have an obligation to file the employer's return to Inner Revenue Department for all its employees annually, no matter the employees render service in or outside Hong Kong. The employer should report all employees' personal particular remuneration paid to the employees in the relevant years of assessment. For the newly set up company, employers will receive the employer return between 3 to 6 months after filing their first audit financial statement. In general, employer returns will be delivered to the company by IRD on first working days of April every year, and the company should report the return within 1 month from the issue date. For the employer allocations, the employers have to maintain the payroll records of the employees and keep list records for at least 7 years. Keep the update employee's personal particulars and inform IRD when any change of particulars or the terms of employment. Also, the employer takes allocation comments when you employ the first employees. Now, I would like to invite Angela to present statutory provisions and annual general meeting.
Thank you, Joey. Hello, everyone. This is Angela. According to Amendment Ordinance effected on 1st of March 2018, it is required Hong Kong companies to obtain and maintain up-to-date beneficial ownership information by way of keeping a significant controllers register (SCR) so as to enhance the transparency of corporate beneficial ownership in order to fulfill Hong Kong's international obligation. Under the new requirements for SCR, company registered in Hong Kong is required to identify persons who have significant control over the company and to maintain a significant controllers register (SCR) to be accessible by law enforcement officers. And the major obligation of the company included identifying significant controllers, allowing inspection by law enforcement officer, giving notice to significant controllers and others, updating information in the register, and entering particulars in the register. So, who is the significant controllers of the company? A significant controller including a registrable person who is a natural person, and a registrable legal entity which is a shareholder of the company that has significant control over the company. Here we can see the definition of significant controllers. The person holds directly or indirectly more than 25% of the issued shares in the company, or if the company does not have a share capital, the person holds directly or indirectly a right to share in more than 25% of the capital or profits of the company. The person holds directly or indirectly more than 25% of the voting rights of the company. The person holds directly or indirectly the right to appoint or remove a majority of the board of directors of the company. The person has the right to exercise or actually exercises significant influence or control over the company. The person has the right to exercise or actually exercises significant influence or control over the activities of a trust or a firm that is not a legal person, but whose trustees or members satisfy any of the first four conditions in relation to the company. A person has significant control over a company if one or more of the above-mentioned conditions are met, and generally it will be dependent on the person's shareholding or whether have a right to exercise or significant influence or control over the company. Each of the Hong Kong companies should maintain the proper information on the SCR. The company must keep its SCR in English or Chinese. The particulars of every significant controller should enter into the SCR, including the name, corresponding address, identity documents information, date of becoming a significant controller, and nature of control over the company. For the registrable legal entity, it is required to provide the name, legal registration number, registered address, the legal form and the law that governs it, date of becoming a significant controller, and nature of control over the company. For any change of particulars, company must update the information in its SCR. Also, the name and contact details of at least one designated representative to provide assistance relating to the company's SCR to a law enforcement officer. According to the company's ordinance, a company must hold an annual general meeting (AGM) in respect of each financial year of the company, instead of in each calendar year. For the newly incorporated company, the company must hold its first AGM within the following period: 9 months after the first anniversary of the company's incorporation, or 3 months after the end of that account reference period, whichever is the later. For the ongoing company, the company should hold the AGM on 9 months after the end of its accounting reference period. For example, for company's financial year ended as at 31st of March, AGM should be held not later than 31st of December. If the company's financial year ended as at 31st of December, AGM should be held not later than 30th of September. Regarding AGM, the company should send a notification of AGM schedule to all members at least 21 clear days. If notice is shorter than 21 clear days, it must be agreed by all the members entitled to attend and vote at the meeting. Also, there are some situations may exempt to hold an AGM on each financial year. Under company's ordinance, a company is not required to hold an AGM if everything that is required to be done at the meeting is done by a written resolution and copies of the documents required to be signed or produced at the meeting are provided to each member of the company on or before the circulation date of the written resolution. In addition, the company has only one single member. It is not required to hold an AGM. According to the company ordinance, it also allows a company to dispense with the holding of AGMs by a written resolution or a resolution at a general meeting passed by all members. It is also exempts a dormant company from the requirement to hold AGM. That's the end of our presentation today. We hope that the information we have shared is helpful for you to understand about Hong Kong company maintenance and renewal. Now is the Q&A section, and let me invite Joey to join us again. After incorporated company is it required to visit Hong Kong to renew the company for the second year. For company renewal, any return filing and business registration renewal can be done by secretary on behalf of the company, and director's physical visit is not required.
Next questions. If the information in the last annual return has not changed, do I need to file annual return? Yes, even if the information of the company contained in the last annual return filed with CR has not changed, the company is still required to file annual return for registrations every year.
So here is the questions. Can the company only have shareholders and not employees? Does the appointed director need to be paid a fee either on monthly or annually basis? Actually, at least one individual director must be appointed, while director's fee is optional.
Is it easy to check whether the company service provider got TCSP license or not? Refer to the slide. You can visit CR website regarding registries for the church or company service providers for validations of TCSP license, which show along with license number, company name in English and Chinese, and address.
I will become the director of Hong Kong company, but I'm not live in Hong Kong. Can I also be the designated representative of significant controller register? Please note that a company's designated representative of SCR must be a member, director, or an employee of the company who is a natural person resident in Hong Kong, or an accounting professional, a legal professional, or a trust or company service provider TCSP licensee. So if you are not Hong Kong resident, you may look for professional service provider to help you handle such issue. So now, let's take a look of the live questions. The question is, can I move my overseas company to Hong Kong as a branch rather than set up the new entity in Hong Kong? If an overseas company wishes to carry out business activities and establish a place of business in Hong Kong, it must firstly register a business entity in Hong Kong as non-Hong Kong company, and to register the business registration number in Hong Kong. So you should apply for registration within 1 month after the establishment of that place of business in Hong Kong.
Next, where should I keep the significant controller register for the Hong Kong company? The SCR, Significant Controller Register for the Hong Kong company, is required to keep at the company's register office or is placed in Hong Kong. The SCR will be kept in hard copy or electronic form.
We hope that today's webinar can help you to have a better understanding on Hong Kong company renewal and how to maintain the company in good standing. That's the end of today's presentation. Please feel free to contact with us for any inquiries. Thank you so much for your time. We're Premia TNC and hope to see you again on next webinar. Bye bye.